Hi, I'm Danny Brown. I'm the CEO of Myriad Real Estate Group, and this is our September market update. In my last market update video, I talked about how the market here in Phoenix was cooling off, and that trend has continued. So we have seen a downward trend in buyer demand, which has caused values of homes to kind of flatten out. Recently, we've actually seen an uptick in demand, though, which indicates to me that our seasonality, which was non-existent last year, has kicked in. So traditionally, July and August tend to be slower months in Phoenix because it's super hot outside, kids aren't in school, and families go on vacations, which means that they're not shopping for homes. Once kids go back to school, we traditionally see an uptick in market activity, and we start to see that demand increase as well as listing activity increase, which we are seeing in the numbers. So there's a big difference between list price and sales price. So what we are going to end up seeing in a lot of the media and clickbait articles is how list prices are falling. And what we need to pay attention to are sales prices. So we've got sellers that are seeing their neighbors that sold for 20, 30, 40,000 above their list price, and they are listing 20, 30, 40,000 above their neighbor's sales price. Those prices are going to be way too high, and we're going to start to see those sellers reduce their pricing. That is happening currently. So we've increased by about 100% of list price reductions throughout the market, and that's because sellers are just listing too high. The eventual sales price is going to be more in line with what their neighbor ended up selling with. So that rate of appreciation isn't going to be as high. The ultimate rate of appreciation on a home is based on its sales price rather than its ultimate list price. So at which a property ends up selling and closing at. And my prediction is that as we continue, the market appreciation will be much closer to 3 to 6%, which is in line with probably where it should be, versus the 30% that we've seen in the first half of this year. So right now, the supply of homes that is on the market is somewhere around 6,500, where the low was 3,500 this last spring. And when I say 6,500, I am talking about the parts of Phoenix that matter, and that's the greater Phoenix area, and most of greater Phoenix falls within Maricopa County. If you just click at the MLS and you look at what's active, most agents will quote to you it's something like 7,500 to 8,000 homes listed on the market. But if a realtor pays to be a member of the greater Phoenix MLS, regardless of where they're at in the country, they can list a home in our local MLS. And that's what ends up happening with a lot of the mountain towns and areas that I say don't matter. They do matter when you're shopping for a home, but they don't matter if you're searching for a home in greater Phoenix. So I'm trying to be more specific when I quote the number of homes that are actually listed for sale in Phoenix. As we get into the fall season, my expectations are we are going to see the inventory within Phoenix continue to increase. I think that we will continue to see buyer demand remain stable as it has been. And we're going to continue to have these supply issues that are going to drive home values up. As we get into the holidays, we are going to see the market slow down, because seasonality has kicked back in. So traditionally, we see an uptick in the market in September, October, the first part of November. We see a less activity after Thanksgiving that runs all the way through New Year's. And then the busy time of year for Phoenix is the springtime, so January through June. And the cycle just kind of repeats itself. Phoenix is very predictable that way. So I have no reason to believe that our seasonality is going to be any different this time around like it was last year. If you're looking to purchase a home within the next couple of months, it is much easier to buy today than it was in the springtime of this year. So there's a lot more inventory to choose from, and there is a little less buyer competition. So instead of competing against 20 or 30 offers, you may be competing against 3 to 5 offers. So that just increases the statistical likelihood of you finding a home. We've had multiple clients just recently who were looking for 6, 7, and 8 months that we were finally able to get under contract on homes because the competition was a lot less fierce. Mortgage rates are still super low, so you're getting to take advantage of that and low monthly payments. And I just saw a statistic the other day that based on the value of money, it is actually cheaper on a monthly basis to buy a home today than it was in 1975. So over the next couple of months, I suspect that mortgage rates will remain the same. I don't think that the Fed is going to make any drastic changes. I do suspect, though, that as we get into 2022 and beyond, that interest rates will begin to start inching their way up. But I think for the foreseeable future, we are in a low rate environment and are going to remain in the low 3s for a while. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and don't forget to give a like.